Sam had some surgery yesterday, successful surgery, I'll tell you. And he's not going to be able to be here this morning, so I'm going to chair the meeting and we'll begin. So, the approval of minutes of regular meeting October 20, 2025.
So moved.
Carrie?
Second.
Steve? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Chairman, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, couple major items. Now, we have such a great staff here that we don't have to, I can't, they have all the thunder, so, but there are some overarching items that I'd like to just touch on. The federal shutdown is over for now. I think the resolution takes us into January, so hopefully we won't have challenges and things will be resolved then. But there was an outpouring of support for the federal workers who were not getting paid in terms of food, donations. So they, I think it might have been more moral support, a combination of moral support and actual practical support, so they could have food and buy gas. I would say that the morale is quite good there. And there is a letter of thank you in front of you to the board for your support from Brian Bushnell, the Federal Security Director of the TSA. New York State DOT was here for a tour, and we'll see more slides on that. But the Commissioner, Marie Therese Dominguez, was here, and we had a delightful, I can't remember if it was morning or afternoon, but we had a delightful tour, and I think that was well reported in the press. And that was we'll see it in the slides. With respect to the authority budget, Margaret has done a great job in putting that together with the Finance Committee. There was a meeting yesterday among the staff to do some final tweaking of prioritizing the capital projects, which I've informed the chairman of the Finance Committee about, and the details to follow well in advance of the finance meeting at the end of the year. So that's the conclusion of my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Peter? None, we'll move right into the reports of committees. CIC.
I can be very brief. Steve and I had very good board member attendance at the meeting. And of course, Kevin, I updated you following the meeting. So I really don't need to report on anything further in detail. And the reports from our wonderful team will really cover everything that we covered in CIC. So I think I'm good to pass it along.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for Sarah? Seeing none. Audit. JR is absent today, so we're suspended with that.
And personnel.
And personnel as well. So we'll go right into reports.
Both committees met.
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You or Janet could speak on that.
Did audit meet?
Yes, we met with the auditor. I attended. I'm not on that committee, but attended. But we all of those meetings took place. I would say uneventful. We're starting to prepare for the audit, and we're in great shape, and very minimal reporting on both.
Personnel committee did meet.
Right.
Covered some ordinary course matters and some not so ordinary course matters. We can discuss those at the appropriate time.
Thank you. Janet, anything?
No, thank you.
Okay. Reports. John O'Donnell.
Thank you. As Peter indicated, we met with Therese Dominguez, DOT Commissioner. During that site visit where she looked at 3 new phase 1 completed areas, she also went into the departure hall. She reviewed we did a presentation for her. She was very pleased with the progress and the quality of the work. I also spoke to Carlos Rivera of New York State DOT regarding the grant status of the grant funding, the $60 million. And he indicates we're in a very good position and we will begin to start receiving those funds. And there's no concerns with them. We just have to do our filing through Margaret. On the Dunkin' Donuts, we're meeting, Helen and I were talking to the franchise owner of Dunkin' Donuts, and they have to start working with the design and start advancing that work because we're getting very close to the point where he needs to start construction so that we're complete in a timely fashion. And lastly, we've got our project to be bid December 4th for the new restrooms and the 7th lane passageway. So that work is going to be bid on December 4th and start probably actual construction in March. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to John Leclerc to talk about the progress of the partial house.
So as far as we can get into a little bit more in the report, in the construction report, but as far as the partial hall, if you came in this morning, you saw the lanes have changed a little bit. We're moving lanes back and forth. We're going to keep them locked in the way they are now to get through the holiday season. To next week is Thanksgiving, get through the season. Once that goes past, they're going to move the lanes around again. We have some site work to do. Some drainage structures need to be installed, and we've been working with MLB and their subs to get that work done. And there's a lull in our employments period after Thanksgiving, before Christmas. We're gonna, those 2 weeks, we're gonna jump on that and get that done and make sure that stays the way it is. And then as far as inside, we've got them. We're not gonna have them working on anything critical like ticket counters, rental car areas. We're gonna suspend all that, have them working other. They have other work they can do. We're gonna suspend any of that work to make sure that our passenger travel through the holiday season is seamless.
You still going all the way through Christmas, John, or?
Well, it'll go past Thanksgiving, and then there's a lull. There's a 2 week lull. It's kind of quiet. We quiet down for a little bit, so we're gonna let them get in, like I said, do the storm drain work, and then get back out, and then do Christmas, New Year's, and then after January 3rd, then they can come back and resume anything. Go back to their normal operation. That way, we won't inconvenience our traveling public.
I could add one more thing, and that is that the ceilings are going in, so you can start to see finishes. I think there's some photos here. I don't know if you went through them while we're talking, but you can start to see that we're working on terrazzo, we're working on finishes, we're working on soffits, suspended ceilings. So this is an indication that we're starting to get close to opening up, and our target is March to have 3/4 of the departure hall ready to be open and begin to remove the escalators, moving to the next phase. But hopefully come March, people will be going up the escalators, coming through the checkpoint from the 2nd level.
So March is the,
That's our timeframe. We're doing everything we can to hit that. We're starting to see indications of that occurring, like I said, with the ceilings going in and the terrazzo going down. So the schedule shows that we should be done for opening that portion of the work come March.
thank you, John. Margaret, finance.
Good morning, Mr. Vice Chair. Exciting month to report. I'm going to talk this way so everybody can hear me better. Then Matt can just kind of flip through the slides. Thank you, Matt. Employments. September, we had the highest September on record, and October as well. October we had 150,000 employments in October. The highest month before that was in the 140,000. I feel like that's remarkable numbers for October. November trending, even with the shutdown and all the delays at all the major airports, I'm not seeing any big hits on November. So November we should still be ahead of last year. Good news there. FBO gallons trending right on budget. Not much excitement there. Operating revenues continue to be above budget, as we've seen in prior months. Parking revenues, same thing. Parking revenues remain strong due to the price increase effective January. Rental car revenues, again, following along the path ahead of budget. Operating expenses, following under budget, as we have most months this year. The next page, you see the net operating profit, the airport and the FBO continue to be strong. Year-to-date operating revenues, again, ahead of budget. And year-to-date expenses are trending still below budget. Slide. This is the very exciting slide. This is our line of credit draws. Last month I was reporting that $13 million in our line of credit draw. This month, I want to thank a huge shout out to Matt Moke for his tireless efforts in securing our FAA grant, the ARPA funds, $12 million. He worked tirelessly with the FAA, and we went back and forth a number of times And Matt was able to secure that money, and I was able to pay off most of the line of credit. Very pleased with that.
Yeah, that's great.
On the next page, you just see our airline schedules for this week. And the last slide is the status of the airline use and lease agreement. I'm happy to report that yesterday I sent out the final agreement to the airlines so they can get it to their legal departments for signature. I may not have them all back in by January, but I know that they all have the commitment to be signing it effective January 1st. And next month I will be bringing the final agreement back to the board for their final approval, which I did that a few months ago with the draft. And now I'll bring the final back. Not many changes. The most changes since the time I brought it back and now it's just in the environmental and the insurance. There was a lot of changes in the environmental language in the last 5 years. We just finished that up. All right, that's it for my report.
Thank you, Margaret. Any questions for Margaret? Being none, we'll move along. John and Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. So project development, that's it. Go to the next slide. So the elevator, terminal elevator replacement, terminal elevator number 10, which is in the far end of B concourse, is completed. They're waiting for testing. The state inspector cannot get here till next Tuesday, so Tuesday it'll be back up and running, and then they'll move to the next one. As far as the perimeter road is actually part of the runway job. Surprisingly, I got more phone calls about people doing that perimeter road than I did all the time we did the runway, but we've gone as far as we can for now. I'm working with the Corps of Engineers, FAA, and CHA geo people to get the wetland permit that I need to get so we can finish this perimeter road, and then we'll have full access all the way around the inside of the fence around the whole airport. The car rental facilities, right now they're a hold item. We're looking at different things. I have met with both Enterprise and Avis. They want to update their kiosks and change their operations a little bit. So, but with us not touching the rental car stations in baggage claim till after the holidays, it's kind of been put on hold for now. GA Apron had a couple of weeks, long conversations with the Reifenberg people to get their schedule on board. They're actually trying to speed up the process and get it done a couple months faster than we originally anticipated, which would be good. Would allow us to start the terminal apron project, which will go to design probably by the first of the year. So that'll help us with that. Traffic signal upgrade. The timing has been changed. Our system is set. I spoke with Mike Stilsing, who's doing the equipment. The county is the holdup on that one as far as the ones down Albany Shaker Road. They're having Creighton Manning do a study of all the different intersections so they can adjust the timing on that. And once they do that and the county implements their system, they'll change our timing a little bit to make it work even better with what the county has. So, you know, you can, in quieter times, you'll be able to just run right down the road with no stops at any lights, and then it'll be nice. The fuel farm, fire suppression system, I've got FS&S and DLC. FS&S, the alarm system. DLC is the electric comp. They're going to mobilize next week to get up there and start rooting around, do a little exploratory work, and then run the new alarm system should be up and running in December. As far as the suppression system, that's still in manufacture, and the last call I have with the company, United Fire Suppression, that equipment will be available in April. The Mauser lights, that's a FAA project. Matt and I have had extensive conversations with the FAA ATO, who is responsible for these lights. They're working on their Corps of Engineer wetland permits to do a couple of the foundations they need to do, but that is still on program to be done next year, probably starting late summer.
Transformer project. This is DLC, it's the general contractor. This is going very well. National Grid, as you can see here, they set foundations and bollards. They're pretty much off site to next year when their equipment comes in, long lead items for the transformer switchgear. DLC will be mapping out their duct bank run from here to the fire pump room, building 79. So that's what we'll be doing that work. So we'll have a little bit of work going on in the loading dock next few weeks. And that's great. It's going well though. We're on schedule.
And we'll happily take any questions.
There was a slide up there in the blast wall, John, I don't know. We were gonna talk about that or?
Yeah, we're going to advance that project via change order. We have a price. AOW is looking at that and they've scheduled it to start in March.
They've been there already?
Oh, they gave us the price already, yes.
How much was it?
68,000.
I thought we were gonna put it out.
Well, when we looked at that, the issue of putting it out to bid is that we have to pay for the design. So after we pay for the design and the time element of bidding it, it would probably be very close to 68,000. He's got $38,000 materials and 60,000 in labor. So we don't see that, time's an element and then the labor is going to be the same no matter who does it. So we're advising that we do it by change order. We can get it done more quickly.
Okay.
It's more efficient for staff too.
So we notified them yesterday, they're gonna revise their price and send it back in and we'll make it happen.
Just so everybody knows, this is another one of my pet peeves. This wall faces the road that goes to the hockey. And they wrapped the pretty blue facing that faces the airport road around one section to here and then left this blank. And it looks like we didn't have enough money to finish the job. So I brought it up to John a while ago. And I'm glad to see it.
Okay,
Yeah, that'll be done.
very good. Thank you.
We will go right in, Concourse A. I'll just get a quick update there as well.
Sure.
So, 2 weeks ago, 11/7, we officially opened up gates A3, A4, took A5, A6 out. So now you have A1, A2, A3, A4. Currently, almost all the removals are done in that next, we're calling it phase 3 for gates 5 and 6. We'll be starting to do the Unistrut install next week and just moving forward. This is going very well. Next board meeting, I'll give a better schedule, but right now the overall project, at the CIC, I stated that we are a solid 2 to 3 months ahead of schedule. It should be completed in May. And gates all
That's- It is, and I wanted to say
Yes,
thank you, Matt.
and all 6
Doing a
gates.
great job on that.
All 6 gates we should have up and running in February sometime, and then there's still one last phase to finish the bathrooms.
And I think you need to brag about that we're ahead of schedule on that.
That is-
It's great news.
I can't wait for the tenants in B and C.
You know that. You know that's the next thing's gonna happen.
Yes, yes, we
Everybody's
don't
gonna
want
want the same
that.
thing,
But
yes.
it looks beautiful.
It-
I'm
it
getting great
really
feedback
does.
too.
Nice.
It's about
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Two
well,
operations
in
away.
that regard, Margaret has in her budget, maybe was it 27, to do the upgrades to Concord B and C, because we know that's coming. I know it's
Great,
We know it's good.
good forecasting.
Any questions for John or Matt? Being none, we'll move along. Christine?
Nothing for the public facing portion of the meeting, thank you.
Okay, moving along. Concession, tell us.
Good morning. The concessions part of my report reflects the number of employees that we have currently at 136 with a 57% minority representation. So that's quite healthy. The other part is the revenue, which we have consistently all year exceeded $11 and close to $12 and in excess of $12 spend per person in the terminal. They call it dollars per enplanement, but some people aren't familiar with that term. So I'm very happy about that. And it has been increasing somewhat with the presence of Uncommon Grounds, and they're doing very well. There's also a lot of congratulatory remarks because Uncommon Grounds has not raised their prices, and they came with their street prices and they've stayed with that. So that's actually very nice on their part. They probably could, but they haven't. The other thing is we do have a lot of ambassadors, about 87 of them at the moment. And for the month of October, they volunteered 753 hours. The canines had over 5,000 interactions with people, constantly getting more feedback all the time on how popular that is and what it does for people. The number of guests served was over 7,000 in the month of October. and they put in 285 shifts. So they give us quite a lot. And then on this picture here, I wanted to comment, and thank you, Matt, for putting Doris's picture on. This is Doris Diggs. She's a retired phys ed teacher. And she worked her whole life helping people, rape crisis, abandoned and fostered children and children of abuse and counseling. So she's had quite a career. She's wearing a 15-year pin, but she's actually put in a few more since then. The next step, of course, would be 20 years. And she's wearing the Sunflower Hidden Disabilities lanyard. We participate in that program, and that is very helpful for anybody that has a disability, not just children on the spectrum, but there's adults you don't even know. They could be deaf and they have a disability and they need help, but people don't know that. You can't see it. So when anybody wears that lanyard, and adults do, we are trained to ask if they need assistance. This program is worldwide. It's in probably almost 100 airports now around the world. And it's very well recognized in the United States as well. Anyway, I wanted to share that and applaud and how grateful I am to Doris. She's such a wonderful person. And beyond that, last year she fell and broke her hip and said, "The heck with that, I'm coming back." And she did. So I think that's because she's in good shape from being a gym teacher. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I'll share, and I'm sure that Pete wants to share, is that our annual Ambassador Airport Holiday Luncheon's coming up on December 10th at the Desmond, and I'm hoping you all can attend. So we'll get a note out to you as well on that. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have one-
Any of the.
I have one quick question.
Absolutely.
I love that Sunflower program. Do you have any ability to track performance on that? Is there a way to collect data on that? I mean, it's a wonderful program and I hope people are using it. I'm just curious. There's no pressure there or anything. I'm just curious if that is a program that's
Wouldn't that be
trackable.
wonderful? They wear it and they'll go to another airport. We have no way of knowing
Oh, okay.
if anybody assisted them.
Yeah.
Or
Figured.
what interactions they had. Yeah. I know what we do here, and what we give out. And I share that with the information
Right.
desk and the airlines. They give them out as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. I was just curious. Thank you. It's wonderful.
The airlines and the help desk give out the lanyard?
Yeah.
And then
So I'll
that's how
give
they
them
identify
to-
them. Okay.
yeah.
I was wondering how you identify that. Okay.
With the airlines, I mean, the other thing also too that I assist with is our Make-A-Wish program that I probably should put that data in my report, but I haven't as of yet, but I'm happy to in the future. But we provide gift bags. I get notice from the Make-A-Wish Foundation anytime a child is coming through that has a medical issue. And in fact, we have 2 coming up. And so I provide gift bags and we get different little toys that we go out and get, and with that particular airline, Southwest participates, Delta, JetBlue, all of them actually. We participate in that and they get a Sunflower lanyard. So that's a sort of a little offshoot that helps support Make-A-Wish as well.
Great. Of course. Thank you very much, Helen.
Of course.
Any questions for Helen? Just wanted you to know, the 10th is our finance meeting, is it not?
And CIC and finance, but I can, we have
Yes.
PR,
We may
CIC
want to
flip flop.
do that earlier that day
And
if
so
we
we
can,
can
and
attend.
so we can make your lunch.
Oh, okay.
That would be nice. We had a good time and
It was wonderful.
Yeah,
And I will look forward to it again.
it
was
really
wonderful.
was such a nice day.
We can adjust and I can adjust.
Yeah, we'll figure out how we can do our part and then be over there for your event. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Matt?
Morning, everyone, and thank you. October, particularly with the government shutdown, was a busy month for news coverage, but it certainly wasn't all government shutdown all the time. Here we have a screenshot from the tour Peter discussed earlier with the DOT commissioner and members of state and county legislatures. But as far as the shutdown is concerned, there were nearly 150 articles, mentioning Albany Airport and the government shutdown, posted basically from the time the shutdown began at the end, right, before October 1st through the end a couple of weeks ago. That's not to say that those are 144 individual articles. Sometimes, say at Channel 10 will post an article and it gets picked up by Yahoo News or MSN. But I think it's important to include all because every time it's on a different site, that's a different audience and increases the reach. So needless to say, at least in the nearly 6 months that I've worked here, this is a topic that has gotten more traction and more coverage than anything else we've seen. I think Peter and I are investing in throat lozenges from all the time we spent talking to members of our local media delegation. But overall, I think the coverage was positive because, as Peter said, we had great support from our federal government employees who continue to work. We saw TSA attendance actually improve from before the shutdown. And I think that's largely due to the community's support they received. We had an event a couple of weeks in where the United Way came in. They raised about $40,000 and donated a $100 gift card to all 250 federal employees we have here. They came back a few weeks later and gave an additional $50 gift card. The food bank separately came with 2 separate deliveries of food, about 8,500 pounds of food each time. And the spillover effect of that was that people saw that on the news and, speaking with Michael from TSA downstairs in Shantae, they said on a near daily basis, somebody would stop by the checkpoint after passing through and hand off a gift card, which they would then, someone would say, thank you, we appreciate you being here, we know how hard it is to work without pay. And those gift cards were then used to purchase lunch for the team at TSA. So I think the press coverage yielded positive results. And I think, as Peter indicated, our federal employees felt seen and appreciated and continue to work with pride and professionalism all throughout that shutdown for over 40 days. We've talked about it already. The DOT commissioner came and visited the airport and toured our 3 new spaces, the children's play area, sensory room, and business center. A lot of coverage from all of our local TV stations, radio, print. We just did a follow-up interview actually yesterday on this topic with WAMC that's going to air next week. So that was a very positive story and fun to see the reactions to that. Most recently, earlier just this past week, Allegiant announced a new route to Fort Lauderdale. They're now the 2nd airport to fly to Fort Lauderdale out of Albany. I believe this is their 8th destination. It kicks off in February. It'll start with 3 days a week and then drop down to 2 in March. A lot of interest from Channels 10, Spectrum, the Times Union, and a few other outlets, including some outlets not local, but in the travel magazines and websites that track that. So that's always exciting. Busy month on social media, as you might have guessed, with all the focus on the shutdown. Our reach across all of our social platforms reached nearly 500,000 people, gained over 500,000 impressions and interactions, meaning likes and comments and shares, and we had nearly 13,000 of those. Facebook continues to be the main driver of that. It represents well over 80% of our overall social media audience. So we gained about 267 new followers for the month, bringing our total audience north of 23,000, which is great, heading in the right direction there. Our website, nearly 50,000 users for the month of October, logging about almost 80,000 sessions and 147,000 different page views, meaning they may start on the homepage, then go to parking or ticketing area and stuff like that. So we're spending a good amount of time on our site. We've been working closely with Vibrant Brands, the airport's marketing company, to make sure that the website is updated and more functional, and that when people actually do come to albanyAirport.com, they're finding what they're looking for and having a great experience. This should have been a slide earlier, but our top performing social post for the month of October was the honor flight. It was our latest honor flight. The next one is scheduled for April. In this group, we had about 60 local veterans from around the capital region, plus another 30 or 40 escorts and staff who went with them. And by all accounts, they had a great time in DC, and there was a lovely ceremony in baggage claim at about 7 o'clock that morning. So we think we sent them off really nicely and in a dignified way, and it was a pleasure to be there. Pointer, we've talked a lot about Pointer at our last public communications meeting. I'm happy to report that we have, after a conversation that Peter had with their CEO, We have renegotiated our rate for the upcoming year from 48,000 down to 20,000, a substantial discount. And not only that, they are going to map every parking space at the airport at no additional charge. Currently, the north
That's huge.
garage is the only
Congratulations.
garage that's mapped. So that Find My Car feature is not currently available in the E lot or the south garage or any of the other service lots. So that will change moving forward in 2026. As you can see from the charts, month to month, because the app wasn't functioning the way we wanted, we deliberately didn't promote it heavily because we didn't want people having negative experiences. But now with these improvements that we made, we have a new focus on marketing and awareness. And I believe you've already started to see it creep back up, but usage of it is going to.
It's a separate app?
It is. It's the one where if you walk through the terminal and you see the QR codes that say airport map, it essentially functions the same way a Google Maps or an Apple Maps would, but it's inside the terminal. You can choose any of our dining areas, baggage claim, ticketing, you
But
name it.
you can't get there through the airport website. You have to download something.
You don't have to download an app.
It's actually not an app, that's a misnomer.
Oh.
You actually, you know how you scan a code?
Yeah.
That's how you access it. It's,
Okay.
and it's an online
Yeah,
thing.
no, I can.
It's not an
Through
app.
your browser, whether it's Safari if you have an
It's not
iPhone.
an app.
So you don't have.
Correct.
Yeah, you just can't. Okay, got it.
But it functions the same way an app would. So as you see, we're creeping back up, and I think, very positive things ahead due to recent developments. That is it for my updates. And if anybody has any questions, happy to answer
Any
them.
questions for
Otherwise,
Matt? Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. And thank you, Peter, for negotiating that rather large.
You're welcome.
Margaret, you can, another 28,000 you can spend somewhere.
It's coming up.
She won't spend it.
Kathy,
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I want to echo the comments so far about the children's play area and the sensory room. It was a fantastic event. There were representatives from the Wild Center who came down for it. Grace Lee Lawrence, the artist who produced this installation, was here. And it was incredibly gratifying to be able to celebrate publicly this effort that has been a couple of years in the making and represents really terrific partnerships with the Wild Center, which is just an amazing museum and resource in North Country, and with a really well-established, fantastic local artist. And it's terrific too to see the spaces in use. People are really enjoying the spaces, and so those will, going forward, be a terrific asset to the airport. So very, very happy about that. I kept my remarks very, very brief last month, and so I just want to backtrack a bit and bring you up to speed on a couple of things. The Gold Star Mothers exhibit, which we're thrilled to host here for a couple of years on Concourse A. It was requested that that be moved and relocated to the MVP unit, where it's getting a whole new audience of people being able to visit. So that was redesigned. There it is at the top here at Albany Airport, and down below you can see that it has been reconfigured and reinstalled at MVP. It's on the second floor, totally publicly accessible. So if you find yourself at the arena, please stop by and have a look. Currently on Concourse A, there are a couple of new. The top slide was just installed last week. This week. And it is it was organized by Russell Sage College, and it represents 7 cultural organizations. It was funded through ARPA. And at the bottom, an exhibit just focusing on the Bennington Museum. So next slide. And this also on view in Concourse A. This was installed in September. And it is a 2-person exhibition, landscape paintings by Eric Wolf. And then I want to bring you up to speed with the development of Flying Close to Rosewater, which is the large-scale sculpture installation project in development for the departure hall. So this was a very time-dependent and seasonally sensitive project. So over the summer, there was local collection of roses, mainly from the Schenectady Rose Garden, which is a hidden gem in Central Park in Schenectady. It's absolutely fantastic, and they were incredibly generous to week after week after week donate just thousands of roses for this project. And so here's a collection showing the range of the rose varieties. The artist then in her studio went through a dehydration process. She separated all of the petals out and dehydrated them to retain their color. And so there you see some down there. And then you can see the casting process here. And I brought in a couple samples of the casts. So the way that these will be installed, you'll see the bottoms of them, this convex part down here. Just kind of pass those around. You can see they're very light. There's two different sizes. There's this slightly smaller size and then a larger. And you can see in this central image the wide variety, the color variety that would be in the casts. But the resin has great clarity, and the colors are just beautiful. And you can see up at the top right here, this is Art Bronte, who is the artist's project manager, installer, magical, wonderful person, kind of spearheading every facet of this project. And there he is with the artist on the right in the bottom slide there. So it gives you just a little bit of a sense of where the project is at this point in terms of the production, and the casting is nearly complete. So that was a huge part of the project that we are nearing completion of that phase.
Kathy, I just have to say thank you again. I'm repeating myself at meetings, but I don't think, unless you're living and breathing it, and I had the privilege of working with you to initiate this project. I got the chills, very exciting. I don't think people may or may not know how important this artist is, and that this is probably the biggest deal for this airport in the art world ever. So I'll be very excited to see more developments. We appreciate the update, and thank you for your hard work on this. Whatever I can do to help, I will.
Thank you. And this artist is a big deal. On an international level, she's a big deal. I've talked about this with colleagues at other airports, and there are all eyebrows raised and excitement and
jealous.
Well, and asks for introductions too.
Sure.
You know, my colleague at Philadelphia Airport was like, "Oh, I really would like to meet her. Can you connect us?" So this project is big, it's complicated, but it is something that will be another important asset for this airport going forward.
And the whole
It's kind of
community.
groundbreaking.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll take any additional.
Yes. Any questions for Kathy? Thank you, Kathy. And last but not least, Dave.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Good morning. Past month or so, we were pretty busy. We hosted a corporate visit from one of our maintenance and repair operators on the field that's looking to develop a new hangar to go over some options within the master plan. We feel like that went very well, and we'll continue the discussions with them. The other maintenance and repair operation that we have on the field, we still have in the early stages of discussing them. They're in the same situation of upgrading their aircraft to that can't fit in our current hangars. So, that's going to be something we'll be discussing often moving forward as well. And then a lot of time was spent in the past month or so preparing for the development of the Engle property, proposing enhancing access off exit 3 into the airport, connecting with Jetway Drive and E-Lot. We think it's vital time to really push for that at the airport, especially with record passenger growth. It's the perfect opportunity, and we're preparing something for as early as next week to be ready to bring. And thank you to everybody on the team here. It's been a big team effort as well, on moving parts. That's it.
talk to the chairman of the planning board about that.
Yes.
Which part?
The part about connecting the lot.
Okay.
Would that be me?
Yeah, no, I understand. No, I understand that. I thought you were in support of it.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, okay.
No quid pro quos here, Vegas. Thank you, Dave. Any questions for Dave? Being none, we'll move into action items.
Can I just, before we do that,
Sure.
we sort of went through the response, but I just want to say to you, Peter, thank you for keeping us informed. It was very helpful to hear the daily impact and worker impact.
Oh, thank you.
Just want to say to you and the team here.
Yes.
Very helpful, at least to me as a board member, to hear
Great.
those daily updates and have a good picture of what was going on out here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Any other comments? Being none, 10.1, Mark.
Thank you. Item 10.1 is authorization to make purchases using the New York State contract for road salt. We come to you every year with the same request. We purchase through the New York State Office of General Services. They conduct a competitive bidding, and we just make our purchases off their bid. Just requesting authorization to do that. I'll second it.
Harold?
I wrote salt.
Yeah. Janet?
Mhm.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So carried. 10.2, Mark.
Thank you. Authorization to purchase, or authorization to issue a purchase order for purchase of ADB safe gates. We're gonna, this is a new system for gate management system and flight information systems. Now, we currently have flight information systems, which you see the departures and arrival boards. At the gates, you'll see displays behind all the counters. This is just an upgrade to our current system, which our IT is not really happy with our current system. And we're also adding this gate management system, which will allow us to track where aircraft are on the ramp. So as aircraft is coming in, we have gates assigned to them. And it'll also alleviate systems where the problems where an aircraft could be sitting on a gate for too long. We all know the incident that happened last winter. Now operations will be well informed when there's an aircraft that's sitting too long on our gate. We went up for proposals. We received 6 proposals. ADB SafeGate was the lowest price. We were very happy with their price. Their annual costs are about half of what the other proposers have proposed. They're a large presence in Europe, and they have larger airports in New York State, like JFK and Denver. So we feel like they would be very well qualified to give us an outstanding system here at the Albany Airport.
They do the installation as well?
Yes, they do the installation, the software, the training, and then every year we'll have an annual maintenance fee of $36,000, which we currently have an annual maintenance fee on our FID system of about $16,000.
Who actually performs the work of the installation?
They do. The SafeGate
Are
company.
they an electrical company?
No, they're a software company.
Oh, it goes on to what's already there?
Yeah.
Oh, the infrastructure's there.
Well,
The hardware's there. all
yeah,
there.
yeah. It's all web-based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Platform.
Thank you. Take a motion. Steve? Sarah? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So carried. 10.3. Margaret, you're a busy girl, Margaret.
Thank you again. 10.3 is authorization to make purchases under the New York State contract. We need to upgrade our repeater system with our radios with Capital Digitronics. You may recall a number of months ago, we bought new radios from Capital Digitronics. But the problem that we have now is, believe it or not, on a radio system, you can get busy signals. And our system can't handle that. So we need to upgrade the repeater system. And that's attached for $131,000 plus another 36 to actually have the recording Yeah, we can actually record the radio communications will be on a recorded system for another 36,000.
Any questions for Margaret? Hearing none, I'll take a motion. Sari,
I'll second.
Harold? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So carried. You get a break, Margaret. 10.4, Kathy.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. This is a request for authorization to enter into a services agreement with Art with Dante Artwork LLC. You saw art in the slide earlier. For coordination, assembly, transport, and installation of the artwork flying close to Rosewater by Shin, intended for suspension at Departure Hall. Art is the overall project manager for this artwork and has overseen the design and engineering of the support armature and the various phases of the sculpture development in close coordination with the artist. So he understands intimately this sculpture. He also has visited the airport a number of times and understands the very complex nature of the departure hall and its systems and structure at this point. He comes to this project with 25 years of very large-scale public art installation experience. And so I'm seeking authorization to engage with him for installation of this project, which will take place in a couple of phases in very close coordination with our team here, Turner and engineering and all of the subs.
I guess my only question is, have we done everything to qualify this as a sole source?
Yes, I've spoken with
Margaret?
Margaret.
Margaret?
Yeah, we had the conversation between Kathy, myself, and Bobby.
Chris?
Yes, I've been involved in the conversations as well. I
Okay.
mean, yeah,
All right,
the
that's my
individuals uniquely qualified. Yes,
And it's documented?
yes, indeed.
Any other questions for Kathy?
I'm over.
First, Steve,
Second.
Sari? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So carried. Thank you. 10.5 is blank. 10.6, Dave.
Thank you again, Mr. Vice Chair. Seeking authorization to approve Breeze Airways' application for incentives on their new Fort Myers route, which begins in a couple weeks. The route qualifies for 1 year of $100,000 of marketing incentives because the route is currently served by Southwest Airlines lightly at a seasonal basis. So this will be a significant increase in capacity. Looking for maybe something that yeah. So happy to answer any questions on it.
Any questions for Dave? Take a motion.
I'll make the motion, Karen.
Janet? Second?
I'll second.
Harold? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So moved. Seven is blank. 10.8, John.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. 10.8 is a service contract. I'm looking for the authorization to award service contract 1256. It's for the maintenance of the overhead doors, the bag belts, and the baggage carousels. It's a maintenance and service contract with all type professional door service. It's an ongoing open pricing type of a contract. All Type Doors has been doing this work for us for close to 20 years. They know all our systems. They are aware of everything we have. They're pretty well informed with this, and they have parts for these things. We put out an RFP for this. There was 2 responses, All Type Doors and Simbrant Aviation from down near New York City. Problem with Simbrant and the reason they scored quite a bit lower was two reasons. One, their prices were quite a bit higher, almost 2.5 times higher than all types are, and also the response time was way out of whack. Their response time for emergencies and outages was a day to 2 days, where all type doors is an hour to 2 hours. And like I said, all types have been here, they're aware of it, and they have badge people to get in and out of here. They service hangar doors, roll up doors, the baggage carousels, they do all that. I'm looking to award that as a service contract.
Any questions for John? Being none, I'll take a motion. Sari,
Second.
Steve, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. So carried. 10.9 and 10.10 are gonna be tabled, at this point, brought up at the next, hopefully at the next meeting in December. Any questions on that? Thank you. 10.11, Margaret.
Thank you. Authorization to request or issue a purchase order for one new glycol recovery vehicle from Titus Inc. off a Sourcewell contract for $267,750. This will replace a current vehicle we have. It's a 2008. This will ensure service reliability, updated equipment. The glycol recovery vehicle is used to go around after a de-icing event and scrub the pavement to pick up the glycol at the pavement for environmental reasons.
Any questions for Margaret? Being none, I'll take a motion. Sari, second.
Second.
Harold. All those in favor signify by saying aye. So moved. 11.1, John.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. 11.1 is, I'm looking for the board's authorization for change order number 16 to MLB for the construction contract 21-1082-GC. It's the pre-terminal TSA expansion. And the value of this change order is $9,619. What that is, there's a connection point up on the roof between the existing north garage and the new elevator system. And in order to maintain water flow and runoff and de-icing and up on that roof as we plow, there was a trench drain that was needed to be added into that. It was part of the rotunda originally, and when it got pulled out, when the rotunda got pulled out, that capability went away. So now we're looking to put it back to make sure we don't get ponding by the elevator and down the elevator shaft.
Any questions for John?
The only request I would have is, in the future, John, because as this list keeps growing and growing and growing of change orders,
Yes, sir.
can we have a running total put on maybe the side margin?
Yes, sir. We can
What
do
the
that.
total change orders are?
We can do that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for John? Not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Steve? Second. Sari? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried. 11.2, John again.
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Vice Chairman. 11.2 is change order 17 for the contract 21-1082 GC. We broke this out separately because what this is, it's change order 17. It has a value of $73,861. And what this is the future rent on the queuing platform until we can get it down. That's all rental. That was all rented. It was never anticipated to be up as long as it is. And so the extension on that is the rental cost of the $73,000 to maintain it until March when we get it out of there.
Any questions for John? Come on.
Not that I would want to ask, I want to ask an executive session.
Yeah, okay. You want it? Well, I'll move it and then we can talk about it. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, take a motion.
So moved.
Harold,
Second.
Sarah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So carried. 11.3, you're up again, John.
Thank you again, Mr. Vice Chairman. 11.3 is the change order number 8 and for contract number 211082 INT-STR, which is what we call bid pack 4. And the value of that is $257,131. And what that includes is upgrades to changing the floor for the terrazzo, additions we had to make to accommodate the Dunkin' Donuts being installed, and then we later, once we had a change of leadership here, we added the bathrooms, and we had some additional work we needed for the new bathrooms that we wanted to install. So there's work for that, and then the last thing was we had to do some work on the telecommunication and power lines that got switched over that were originally on the pedestrian bridge, and now we're relocating them into a space where we don't, so they won't get damaged again. We moved them to a better location than were originally designed. It gets them out of the way of all the work being that you see if you drive underneath, see all the work done. We don't want it up in there. We want it off to the side where it can be easily accessed for if we need it.
Okay. Any questions for John? Being none, take a motion.
So moved.
Sarah,
Second.
Steve? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Carried. 13.1, Peter.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. As I informed the board by email, we needed to make a payment on the builder's risk policy to extend that for a year. That's the policy that protects the departure hall project from peril. The amount was $104,000, and this is a report for an emergency procurement to ensure that that policy did not expire. So that's in the nature of a report, no vote required. But happy to entertain any questions.
Any questions for Peter? Being none, we don't have to move this thing, right,
No.
Peter?
Correct.
Okay.
When you're
yeah.
ready.
Anything under old business? New business? Take a motion to go into executive session. Harold. Harold. Ms. O'Connor. I think that about wraps this portion of it up, right? Thank you all for your comments, reports.